Welcome to another episode of Healthy Habits, Healthy Life. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about sitting posture. Last episode, I shared my insights around standing posture, and sitting is something that we as humans probably do way too much of, myself included. So when I was going through medical school, I taught my patients how to sit properly. And that meant that if they're in a chair, that they would basically lower their chair so they could have 90 degrees here at the hip and 90 degrees here, and ergonomically 90 degrees here, right? And the keyboard like so. However, that actually didn't feel very good. Come to find out, that is incorrect information, but you will still see some of that advice on the internet. So what is the correct sitting posture if it's not 90, 90, and 90? Well, it is actually 135. Now this is not 135 yet, but I'm going to show you a little hack to help you with that. Why is that important? Well, my understanding is that when you have these 90-degree angles, you actually prevent the flow of chi, also known as prana or energy, vital force, in the body. You literally lock those joints and the chi does not flow in these severe angles. So you want this to be a bigger angle and you want this to be a bigger angle. Now, we don't want people doing this either though, because that's slouching and then the spine gets all out of alignment. That doesn't really work. So if you heighten your chair, in this case this is adjustable, this is still not enough. This is not 135 degrees. So one of the hacks is that you can take a cushion, and this cushion I got online. It's kind of hard on the I think it's a wheelchair cushion actually, hard on the back and soft here. You can actually place that on the chair. Aha! So this is actually higher. Now you see how my pelvis is actually tipped forward a little bit, which for most people that's going to be good because most people are like this when they're sitting. So it actually tilts them forward a little bit so their spine and their head can be straighter. Now as far as the arm position, for me, still that almost 90 is better for the keyboard rather than here and rather than here. That doesn't feel very good to me. It's a strain on the neck. So for here, we still kind of sort of want almost 90 degrees, but do what's comfortable for you. Now with this opening, what happens is that the iliacus muscle inside the ilium bone is able to relax. When you have the 90, it's actually squished up and can kind of freeze there, and that can cause all sorts of back problems and knee problems. So having this 135 degrees is really helpful. Now the other thing you can do is you can take a block like a yoga block. Now this is actually a block therapy block, but a yoga block would work as well. And you can put it between your knees and sit this way. You can sit through dinner this way, you can type this way, and this is actually fairly comfortable. You will notice though that you will tire when you first start it because your adductor muscles are being used, and that is not a muscle that everyday people use unless you're having to be a figure skater or something like I am. So this block can be placed in between the knees, a little higher up, and even higher up. So you're actually doing kind of mini block therapy, even though you just have it just gently squeezed here, like this. So this is a fantastic position to kind of help rearrange and reorganize and realign the pelvis and the whole body. Now, the other thing I've done, especially when this gets a little old, is I've actually used the block therapy baby blocks to increase my height on the chair. So these are block therapy baby blocks, and I'm literally putting these blocks just below the sits bones. So I'm going to place them like so and sit down. So I'll just show you how I'm placing them right here like this. And then sit down. I can adjust, and then if you really want to get fancy, then you put the block between your knees. Now you're actually doing block therapy, because now this may not be very comfortable for beginners, but I'm pretty used to it. You're actually peeling the fascia away from the sits bones, the ischial tuberosity, and that can be really helpful because it gets really twisted in and tight in those bones. So when I go to conferences, for example, or conventions, and they have those regular chairs, which pretty much force you into that 90-degree angle, I actually purposefully bring my baby blocks so I can sit on them and I can actually move them down, and actually balance on them a little bit, block different areas of my hamstring, and I can even do one side, so I can kind of sort of block at the same time as I'm listening to the guest speaker or whatever's going on at the convention. So this is some of the things that you can do to improve your posture when you're sitting. Now, that being said, I'm actually going to show you my fancy Sally chair. So the Sally chair, I believe, is created in Finland. I know there's a Chinese version and a Finland version. I bought the Finland version, and it looks like this. So this one's pretty fancy. So this has, rolly wheels. It has acupressure, knobs on here. But here is the amazing thing about it. It's split into two sides. And mine is adjustable, so you can open that up and then you can adjust it wider or narrower depending on your pelvis. So you can do it various different ways, and then you lock it down. So here you get on it sort of like a horse. So here you can adjust it up or down, and automatically you're in that upright position, and you've got that 135 degrees. Ideally, you want to feel a little bit of pressure on your feet. So I will move it up and down as I work. Okay, so you can kind of sort of see what it looks like from the back. And I'm sitting way back there. That's the ideal, and that's the most comfortable. It does take some time to get used to this. So it's not like an overnight, wow, this is great. Sometimes you'll think this feels really weird for a little bit. Okay, so this is called the Sally chair. It's spelled S-A-L-L-I. Okay, and so this is, how much was this? I forgot how many. It was over $1,000, let's put it that way. So this is a very wonderful chair if you happen to sit a lot in front of the computer, or, sit a lot at work, things like that. Now, recently, I got something else, because even though I'm sitting in this ideal position, my chi is not flowing as much as I would like. The energy is not flowing as much as I would like, as if I was walking or, cycling or doing something else. So I bought something else called a workstation bicycle. And that is this little guy. It's actually not a little guy. It's actually fairly hefty. Very easy to put together. There's actually a desk that goes on top of it, which I'm not showing you at the moment, but you can remove that. So if I want to, I can cycle in front of the TV if I'm watching a movie. But this actually will fit under my standing desk, which I have. So I will stand, sometimes with the block between my knees, I get a little tired, then I can sit. So this is literally brand new. And so you can get on this, and you can adjust the height of the chair. The seat adjusts, and there's actually a little holder here, and there's a little dial here for the tension. And it's not like I need major workouts, because I do something else for that, but I can just move. And even with the desk, it's actually really quiet, and the desk doesn't really jostle and move and jiggle and wiggle, which is really nice. So really, now literally brand new. I have not put it on my standing desk yet, but you might see a little bit of movement if you're on a Zoom call with me, and then you'll know that I'm using this particular workstation cycle. And this way, it's just keeping the energy flowing. I'm not doing it to necessarily burn calories or, to get my cardiovascular exercise for the day, because I have other things that I do for that, get my heart rate up. This is just literally for me personally, just to get the chi and energy flowing, and therefore it'll be a lot more healthy. Is that a word? A lot healthier. There we go. A lot healthier for me to sit at longer periods of time in front of the computer doing my work. And and sometimes if there's a super long movie or a trilogy or something like that we want to watch, then at least I'm not sitting there for that long anymore. So this is super fun. Just remember, you don't have to get fancy. Take your chair, just look at what your angles are in the body, and try to get that 135 degrees, and jury rig whatever it is you need to get that height see how you feel before and after, and I would love some comments. So if you like this video, definitely subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and share it with whoever you think might benefit from it. And would love your comments. So comment below, let me know what you're going to be doing in your home. Are you going to get a Sally chair? Are you going to jury rig, a wooden chair or an office chair? Or maybe you've already been doing proper sitting for a very long time. I'd love to hear that too. So thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, bye for now, and we'll see you on the next episode of Healthy Habits, Healthy Life.